Something is moving beneath the hair, and this tiny bird has found it. It does not peck randomly. It is looking for something very specific. The first contact is only the beginning. The grip has to hold. Then the angle changes. And suddenly, the parasite comes free.
Now it can eat.
And the search begins again. The host decides when the search can continue. Here, the target is smaller than almost anything the camera can see. It has found another. But finding it is not the same as removing it. So it tries again. This time, the grip is right. A second target has cost it more effort, but the reward is the same. But feeding is only one part of the Oxpecker's day. Something else is drawing its attention. The feeding ground is not the whole story. Away from the host, another need begins to matter. A cavity like this can change the future of a bird this small. If the shelter is right, the work begins with something simple. One piece. Then another. Inside the darkness, small repeated movements begin to turn a hollow into a nursery. But building a nest takes energy, and energy still has to come from somewhere. To build, the bird must first feed. But food is never guaranteed. It finds another target. But this one will not come easily. It changes the angle. This time, the grip holds. The reward is small. The work is constant. And while the buffalo provides food, the tree provides something else. The unfinished nest is still waiting.
One feeding trip.
One more piece for the future. Inside the darkness, the rough materials begin to take a more useful shape. Dry grass gives the nest structure. Softer material gives it protection. The final shape has to fit the bird itself. A nest is only useful when the adults begin to use it. The hollow is no longer empty space. It has become a place worth returning to. But even during breeding, the adults still depend on the same landscape for food. The nest may be waiting, but hunger cannot. Every trip back to the host carries the same question. Will there be enough?
Will there be enough?
For this bird, one small meal is enough to keep moving. The meal is tiny. The journey ahead is not. Food brings the bird back to the buffalo. Brief pause. But breeding keeps bringing it back here. Every return adds another small piece to the future. The nest is ready. Now the pair's attention can turn to what it will hold. The empty nest will not remain empty for long. For weeks, the cavity was only a shelter. Now it holds something far more fragile. The feeding ground is outside. The next chapter is hidden in darkness.
The clutch is complete.
And now, patience becomes part of survival. Then the silence changes. Something inside is beginning to move. The shell finally gives way. What emerges is almost completely helpless. For now, the chick can barely lift its head. Growth begins with repetition. Sleep, hunger, feeding, and sleep again. One mouth is filled. Another is already waiting. Soon, staying still becomes harder than moving.
The nest has protected it.
Now the outside world is waiting. The first leap is not a flight. It is a test. The second attempt is already different. The nest is behind it now. For a young oxpecker, the first real challenge is finding the host again. It found the host. Now, it has to remember what to do. The old skill is still there, but now there is no adult beside it. The first attempt slips. Experience is built from moments like this. It changes the angle. And this time, the parasite comes free. Its first meal alone. And the cycle has become its own. One successful feeding is not the end of the lesson. The nest protected it once. Now survival depends on the world beyond it. The cycle never truly ends. For one tiny bird, survival simply becomes the beginning of another life.